kind of breathable.
That's neat.
We used to use.
Throw some liquid in there. Straighten your esophagus out.
You want me to drive forward? Get you all taken off?
Where's the pro start? Where's the pro start? Morning, guys.
Howdy.
Well, 15 minutes in, starting the first gravel road climb. Nice and smooth here for a while, and fun starts about mile 10 or 15 with some hike-a-bike. Feeling good, legs feel good, got a good night's sleep. So fingers crossed, the ladies are behind me, talking, chatting, and hopefully they'll crush it today. So I'm here with the queen of Tanga, Audrey, and she's making a cameo appearance in my documentary called Ride to Ordinary. And so this will be featured for sure. About an hour and 20 in. First hike-a-bike. I hate breaking the seal this early, but hard to tell how steep that is. Technically I can ride it, but not worth it, so feeling good. Made to the top of Wilson Gap, 2 hours, 50 minutes, not too shabby. It's kind of like riding through a concrete slurry or something like that, loose wet gravel, but was able to stay in the saddle most of the time without burning too many matches. And time for a little break before hitting Darnell Creek, which is, that trail is, might as well just call it a ditch. It's pretty much what it is. But feeling pretty good. It's light rain and kind of perfect conditions. So. Made it off of Darnell Creek in one piece. Not too bad. Time for some ramen. Like brains. Yummy. Wanted to find my interview with the head man, Mr. Honcho, right here. Or, hey, you know what my documentary is going to be called, Jeff? Come on. What? Come on. Ride to Ordinary.
Ride to Ordinary.
Yeah. Well, top of Patterson Gap, 4.5 hours in. That's a tough climb. It's kind of steep, but need to get some water down at the campground at the bottom here, and then Blue Ridge Gap. I think that's the one that's going to be peanut butter mud. So I got that to look forward to, and then roll into Moccasin Creek and hopefully take a nice break. I think my brain purposely forgot this about 2 mile climb after Patterson Gap before the downhill. Of course, on the elevation profile, 2 mile climb looks like a blip, but when it's this steep, it's hike-a-bike, it feeled it for sure. How's it look out here? At the top of Blue Ridge Gap, or close, there's a little bit more climbing to do, but not too bad. Rollers. Got through most of the tank trap ATV sections pretty unscathed. Peanut butter mud, but not too bad. Was able to ride all of it, so good. Got me some scratch. Should be 6 hours and 13 minutes in at this point. You know, should be to Moxon Creek in 8, I think, which is ahead of my schedule. So not really pushing hard or anything. The rain's keeping the temps down, definitely helping with the pace. Stopped at Lake Burton. It's quite nice. The campground here is awesome. So playground, and would really like to get out on the lake today, but not going to happen. Needed 8 hours in and needed to kind of clean things up because if the taint ain't happy, nobody happy. So you know, got some more butt rub on, and also I got my trash shorts. I got my trash shorts on. Trash shorts. I got my trash shorts on. I know you didn't want to see that, but gonna go with the trash shorts and free ball it for a while and see how that works. Taking a little breather up Wildcat, heading to Addis Gap. Got about 4 miles of climbing to do, and stomach's starting to turn on me. And for you that know me, you know my stomach issues are, I'm sure you heard me bitch about them all the time. But acidity starts building up and shuts things down. So I gotta manage that, get a little food in my belly, and really what I need to do is work up a few good farts and power me, jet me up to the top. But yeah, it's a long haul, and just need to manage it and keep it in check. And because just like my taint, my stomach ain't happy, nobody happy. The ladies are about an hour and a half behind me, I think. I think they're stopping at the marina, getting some victuals. I had enough food to kind of power through. So it's not too bad of a climb. It kicks up here near the top, up and over Addis Gap, past the AT, and downhill, and then back up Trey Mountain, and then down to Helen. So as long as I can just kind of keep moving at a steady pace, I should be there by dark, hopefully. Come on, man, pick up the pace. You're on camera now.
This is it. This is full.
Yeah, it's full gas, right? Yeah. Doing all right, man?
Yeah, again, keeping going.
Yeah, exactly. Just take a little mental break. So I farted a bunch. Fresh as a daisy. Ready to climb some more. Starting a big boy climb up Trey. Definitely hurting. Stomach is not behaving. Took me about 45 minutes longer up the Wildcat and Addis as I thought, but it is what it is. This is where we're at. Trying to work out my stomach issues. They've hit pretty hard. And I'm crawling up Trey. It's going to take me probably 3 hours to climb this damn thing. Joy. But nice view of the sky. Well, made it to the top of Trey by right at 8 o'clock, so I was able to salvage a little bit. Stomach's coming around a little bit, but still can't really get my heart rate up too high right now. But now it's hickory nut, and I got some daylight left, so hopefully knock out most of it, and still be in Helen by 9-ish. So it's about 9:20, and we're at the well, there it is, the Huddle House in Helen. Took me a little bit longer going down the bottom part of Hickory Nuts. Not much fun when it's light out. Definitely not fun when it's dark. And also I might have lost my bibs off the drying on my rack, so I had to go back up to get those. So I was doing the Superman's cape there for a while. Back out.
I'm glad you waited for us. I was missing you.
That was really nice of you.
Getting ready to, just left Helen. Getting ready to start up the big boy hog pen. It's gonna be a biatch. It's about 12:20 a.m. and just left the ladies at the store. Unfortunately, they didn't get there in time for the before the store closed. I know I'm probably bragging on how good of a husband I am, but I bought a bunch of stuff for him and hung out for a while. I needed the break anyway for my stomach, so there was some selfish intentions as well. But I got them set up and probably see them at Van Zant's in the morning, hopefully. And hopefully I get there before they open. We'll just have my first Bubba encounter here on Hog Pen. Jeep rolled up and said, "What are you doing, son?" Or he said, "What are you doing? What do you do for a living?" I said, "I work on computers, and so you should know not to ride on the roads out here." And which, I mean, he has a point. We're mostly off-road, but got to connect the dots. And he just sat there and looked at me. I said, "Well, you know, we're doing a race." He said, "I heard that all the way up the mountain." So he probably talked to the ladies back there. So I'm not too happy about, and hope they're fine. But drunk as Cooter Brown. He was feeling good on a Saturday night. Yeah. You know, people ask me, like, go out in the woods and afraid of the hogs and the bears and the stuff, and you know, I have way more respect for them than I do yeah, that dumbass redneck. So, made it to the top of Hog Pen. Beautiful out, foggy, stars are spectacular. Other than the Bubba stop, I was able to pedal the whole way, so head on down, hopefully I'll be in Bogle in an hour or so. Take a break. Starting to climb up Wolf Pen Gap at the top of this, and then turn on to Duncan Ridge, which is a gravel climb for a couple miles, and then bomb on down to the Morganton Suches area. That's going to be a nice, fun section, hopefully. But stopped for about, it's about 2:20, or excuse me, 3:20. Stopped for about 10 or 12 minutes. Get some food in me. Section from Helen all the way to here, or actually all the way to, you know, Cooper's Creek store, is just a shit ton of up and down. No good place to eat. I need to stay on top of that, so took care of that. And little break. Got through the Helton Creek section, which Helton Creek is beautiful, except when it's 2 in the morning and pitch black. But then that it's another one of those little blips on the elevation radar you don't even look at, but it's a kick in the nuts after, you know, getting over Hogs Pen. The descent down Hogs Pen was foggy the entire time, which didn't make it fun. It is stressful as hell. Hopefully Cooper's Creek isn't like that. So top of Cooper's Creek, or excuse me, up top of Wolf Pen, and heading up Duncan Ridge Road for a couple miles, hitting gravel again. It's entering the Cooper's Creek Wildlife Management Area. So a new section. Pretty much from Helen to this point is mostly road, a little bit of gravel, but it's, you know, it's not hard, technical downhill gravel, hard pack. So I pumped up probably to over 30 when I was in Helen, just to give me a little more, a little less rolling resistance. But now it's time to hit some gnarly downhill down Cooper's Creek. So time to dump a little air. I pretty much just go off the feel. I don't carry a pressure gauge with me. I probably want to go down to the 25, 20, between 23 and 25. So I still want to keep a little bit of juice, because after Cooper's Creek there's still a bunch of road until we hit the Green Mountain and the Stanley Gap trails. And then definitely probably dump a little air for those. They're in disaster, it's going to be wet too. Wet roots. Well, that was a fun downhill off of Duncan Ridge until we get near the bottom and fog is hit. This is pretty low. It's actually not bad right here. It's starting to climb back up, but those low-lying areas, it's pretty much 10 feet at the most. Well, sun's up, day 2. I just turned 7:02, so 24 hours in. Just had a big breakfast at Cooper's Creek store. Feeling okay, and I'm gonna head over to Iron Bridge and probably just restock with stuff I think I may need for the long push to the Mulberry Gap. Really, it's gonna be a long day. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. Go get them, boys. Time to wash up. It's about 9:30. Definitely starting to feel it. Energy level's just not there. I'm gonna try to eat some at the top of Green Mountain. It's the Long Branch Loop. And just keep plugging away. We've got Stanley Gap next. Break at the infamous Stanley Gap trail. In Tenga, most people miss that turn here and go up the Jeep Road for a couple miles and figure it out. So the Jeep Road parallels the trail, so your GPS doesn't tell you that you're off course until it's too late. First time I've had to filter water this race. I wasn't going to, but I waited to the Iron Bridge store to get water, figuring, you know, that's the last stop before heading up Stanley and or Green Mountain. But they were closed due to flooding, so I had to get some out of the creek, which is fine. I hope not too many people depended upon Iron Bridge to be their last store for food, because they're screwed. Luckily, I ate at Cooper's Creek. Got there just at 6 in the morning as they opened. They opened early, especially for us, which is great. And a couple of breakfast burritos definitely got me through, but it's time for a little lunch before slog up Stanley Creek. Got a little sandwich, some Duralite, maybe some caffeine. Gotta go with that. So I realized that I haven't really shown you guys my rig, my ghetto rig. True farmer fashion, as my friend Jeremy Hoff would say, cocking it up. But Santa Cruz Blur. It's the only real mountain bikes we have, so it can go with the hardtail. And so we got these Revelate bags here that hold water. I got 2-liter water bottles squeezed in there, and also my filtration system with a tube coming out, some magnets holding them in place. Some Panda bags. These 2 water bottle bags. One I use for electronics, one I use for water bottle. Some lights, and just a waterproof bag back here on a old school rack. Doing some road riding north from Cherry Log, heading to Watson Gap and get into the Cohuttas and the Pinhoties. Heading to Mulberry. Just had a delicious lunch at the Pink Pig barbecue place in Cherry Log. It's pretty much the last food stop on or near the route until Mulberry. So we got a couple orders of stuff, one to eat and one to take away. Hopefully that gets me through to Mulberry. Plan on taking my sweet old time, not really hurrying. Should be at Mulberry before midnight, but we'll see. So somewhere along here on Bushy Head Road is mile 178.5, which is the halfway point of the 357-mile course. So either past it or approaching it. Of course, it's sort of insignificant, but yeah, something. Today is going to be just about having fun on the bike and just relaxing. Yesterday, got caught up a little more, and trying to make it to Helen in time. And today there's nothing. I have a hotel reservation, Susie and I do, in Dalton for Sunday and Monday night. So essentially, definitely won't get there till tomorrow. Probably be, if I can keep moving at a decent pace, be early in the morning. If not, it'll be later in the morning. And get some sleep and clean up and knock out the rest of this. But that's like I think it's like mile 250 is Dalton, something along those lines. So that'll be a nice, to have just under or just over 100 miles to go. So yeah, it's good to be halfway through it. Doing okay. My back's kind of jacked from carrying my bike up Stanley Gap. Whew. Thing's heavy and seems to get heavier. Sit at Watson Gap and pretty much got heat stroke coming up that thing. Really, I got it from the run into it, which is exposed road and Highway 2, and a lot of that. Tell you what, the steepest parts of this course are that Bushy Head Road. I had to walk one section up to the, I think it's Bears Den Mountain Club or something. I was noodling just to make it up it, and I was like, faster for me to walk it. But yeah, I definitely started to feel the onset of it, and a little bit of delirium, and just like my head was gonna pop off. So pushed my bike up the last half mile on Watson Gap, and I made up some scratch and started down that, and it's gonna take a minute because right now I can't even think straight. Whew. So it's only about 23 miles to Mulberry, but they're hard miles, especially a climb up Potato Patch, and trails are rough. There'll be some hike-a-bike for me today for sure. Then we'll have to evaluate if I push on to Dalton or not. Get it! It's on camera! Oh! Long slog, but I made it to the top of 3 forks. And apparently, according to the Garmin Connect file, elevation profile, just below me here, about half a mile down, less than that, quarter, I Everested. So the elevation profile says that I've done 29,760 feet, something like that, whatever Everest elevation is. I've heard 2 schools of thought on Everesting. Of course, I'm going to get into, somebody's going to get pissed off by me saying it, but I have read there's 2 ways. You can either climb whatever that 29,000 blah 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 feet in a 24-hour period, or you can do it without sleeping, which I have not done. I've not slept since Friday, so so if you go by that definition, then I guess I've Everested. It's a long time. I think it's 7 o'clock right now, so 36 hours to get to this point. I'm definitely getting a little bit weary and hurting. I was trying to push through to Mulberry, but I'm gonna have to go maybe up here to the mountain town overlook and take a 15-minute cat nap to get me up over Potato Patch, and then I need to get some water at Bear Creek. I'm running low. So yeah, I just need to be smart because I'm definitely hurting. A long day. It was hot. I got a little bit of, I think, sunstroke coming up Watson Gap. That long road stretch coming up to it got me, put me over a little bit. So anyway, I guess I've Everested. So yeah, mountain town overlook, not a bad place for a quick cat nap. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me back on track. I'm definitely dragging and having trouble concentrating, so I don't want to sleep a full hour. So I'd like to be able to hit Bear Creek before dark. Get as much done of those peas before it gets pitch black. So 15 minutes, we'll see what that can do. Morning, 7 a.m. On I guess Monday morning. Kind of, there was a 6-hour window there where I didn't really record anything, mostly because I went to a very deep, dark place. I was riding, felt good. I hadn't slept, but planning on getting here and sleeping. This is Mulberry, by the way. I'm just climbed out of the hole there. Getting ready to head towards Fort Mountain, try to make it to Dalton. But that took forever. I was on P0, I guess, with Jason Foster and his group, and I picked them up on Watson Gap, and we were having a good time, and I was feeling good. I mean, I'd got a little bit of heat stroke coming out to Highway 2 and heading up the gap. I had to walk a little bit at the top. Figured it was just overall fatigue and whatever, but you kind of get that malaise and sort of, you know, just I don't know if it was just tired or what, but I think that bit me pretty hard. But I felt good there for the next hour and was riding with them, and then they were getting water down at the creek there on P0, and I started climbing up to the top, and I knew better than to ride the mud holes there, so I didn't do that, but I did fall over in one, just try to walk through it. Ended up you know, and then pushed it to just it's a hike a bike up to the top, and got up near the top, realized my GoPro had come off my helmet when I fell. So those guys were up there, or were starting to work their way up, and I, you know, went past them on the way back down, and it's like, yeah, I lost my GoPro. The good part that I didn't have to push my bike all the way back up, but I got to the bottom and just started to feel bad again, just, you know, started to hit. And hiking up to the top, I was like, just kind of, I drank a bunch of water, just, I don't know what, wasn't dehydrated, I was drinking plenty, taking electrolytes, but just started to hit me there and felt a little woozy and
Of course, I'm kind of in no man's land at that point. So kept plugging and made my way up to the road heading towards Potato Patch, and started to realize I'm fairly low on water. I've still got probably a liter, but doing the math on how I was feeling, it was going to take a while to get to Bear Creek. So I still had to climb up three notches or whatever that's called, and then all the way up to Potato Patch, which has a ball buster of a climb at the end. So I was really, and I couldn't really eat because I needed to, because I was trying to save water. You know, you just start making bad choices when you're sleep deprived. I really don't know what I would have done differently, but you know, yeah, that's just the way it was. And then I started in my head, I was like, oh, I want to get to Bear Creek, at least the connector there, or bypass, whatever it is at the top, before dark. So I don't want to have to set all my lights up and everything else. So anyway, I made it, crawled, but made it to Bear Creek just as it was getting really dark. Got water, so I was kind of feeling good, but I was definitely feeling woozy, and I didn't really, there's no good way that I know of to get from Bear Creek Trail over here to Mulberry without going across the trail. I guess that's P1 there, off of Bear Creek. It's just brutal when you can't see straight and it's dark, and then my back started getting jacked up, and I'm getting like a crick's neck or whatever they call that, and I was having trouble going downhill just because I couldn't hold on to the brakes for too long, and I had to do the kind of stretching my back out while I was holding the brakes, which is not a good position, and that's some pretty nasty stuff over there. So anyway, just a really bad place, and I made it, I think, just maybe 12:30, but you know, I mean, I think it was like 7:30 or whatever when I hit Bear Creek, maybe 8. That's probably 8. So it took me 4.5 hours to do 13 miles. I think maybe 15. And then went off trail for a little while, and just yeah, struggling, and yeah, really reevaluating my life decisions at that point. Got a couple hours sleep at Mulberry. It's too much snoring and too much activity for me. My brain just doesn't turn off even when I'm exhausted. I passed out for a couple hours. Got my bike cleaned up. It's just a muddy mess. I got a shower. That was nice. And a big breakfast burrito. If you've ever had the breakfast burritos, or any of the burritos here at Mulberry, you know what I'm talking about. So you know, got a little bit of food and plenty of water. I'm just gonna make the push up to Fort Mountain, Tatum, and just sort of crawl my way down to Dennis Mill, and head to Dalton, and then just figure out what's going on. Susie and I and Monica, I think, are the base of Watson Gap. I think they holed up there last night, so they'll get here sometime today, and then I'll start tracking them and see what's next. I'm not sure with my back and neck if I'm going to be able to finish. I might try to go see a doc or something today and see if there's anything I can do about it. Might just vitamin I it and suck it up. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't want permanent damage. I'd like to do this kind of stuff. Maybe not this kind of stuff, but riding bikes and running and everything for way old. I'm old, but not way old. So anyway, sorry for the long-windedness, but that was about 6 hours, or probably, well, really almost 12 hours since that, and since the shit hit the fan, if you want to say. It's just kind of I've been through it before in adventure racing. You know, there's lows, but then there's physical lows to where you just cannot do things. You physically cannot do the things you need to do, and it was dangerous. I tried to sleep on the trail 4 times. Bugs were just, you know, bug spray's not helping when you got just everything all over you, and I just could not do it. So I just kept pushing, just literally pushing the bike most of the time, and Barney rubbling it down the downhills, 1 foot out, and trying to keep my back straight. So we'll see if I have to do that coming up here in Dennis Mill. At least climb up Fort Mountains uphill. Shouldn't be a problem there. My legs feel okay. Back and neck, not so much. Pretty sunset, or sunrise, yeah. I'm out of it. About a little over halfway up the climb up to Fort Mountain, pretty much pushing my bike. So definitely have some neurological damage. I can't pull on the bar to go uphill, and I can't pull on the brakes to go downhill. So that, if you know anything about the Tenga course, that's pretty much all of it. So yeah, just gonna have to make it to the top, call Honcho, and I'm not gonna pull the plug yet because I'm still on course. I'm climbing up the trail. And I guess I'd have to come back up and head down Tatum Lead and Dennis Mill if I wanted to continue, but I doubt that you know, I'll get some magic pill or shot that'll allow me to do it. So it doesn't look good. You know, I've had neck problems here for a little bit and tried to get, you know, a massage therapist to work them out, but I'm not sure when I did it and how, but part of getting old, I guess. So yeah, it doesn't look good. Maybe I'll try to thumb a ride down the mountain. I think it'll be a 52 is pretty steep, and I'm not even sure if I can hold the brakes that long. I'll have to take a lot of brakes and brakes on the brake, brakes. But it is a beautiful morning out here, and if I'm gonna get hurt, you know, it's kind of where I want to do it. So one more shot of the sunrise. Pushed my bike up 4 miles up Fort Mountain. Made it. But yeah, I don't know. I have to call Honcho and tell him that maybe I just need to head down the mountain and go to an ER or something. I don't know if some sort of magic steroid shot would fix me up enough. Highly doubt it. Vitamin I is not going to power me through this. Sucks. I get mad at myself for mentally quitting, which I very rarely do. Stubborn as a mule. This physical is, I think it's more frustrating just because I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. It pisses me off. I guess this is part where you get emotional, right? Or you know, somebody starts crying or something you're supposed to do. My emotions are usually piss and vinegar. not as much on the crying side. But yeah, I'm upset. I was really looking forward to this, and I knew I could finish. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Whether I'll be back or not is a question. Of course, if I've done some permanent neurological damage or something, I might have to, you know, pick up shuffleboard or something. I have an AARP card, so maybe they get discounts on that shit. So I'll let you know after I talk to Honcho where we're at. Fuck. Alright, so phone is dead and won't charge. Not sure what the hell's going on there. Joy. So I'm just gonna have to either hitch a ride or start riding down the mountain. Both. Left my spot tracker on. Try to get a hold of Jeff at some point. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of screwed without the phone working. So sitting in the outside the emergency room. It's Chatsworth, Georgia. Just had some steroid shots and muscle relaxers, and my neck feels great. relatively speaking. Probably shouldn't continue a ride like this on a bunch of muscle relaxers though. So I'm probably out, definitely out. Just getting here was quite the adventure. No phone, so tried to thumb a ride, and nobody bit. Started riding towards, well, you know, Fort Mountain, I guess the north side, I call it the back end, which is where the trail comes out to the south end. Comes off the mountain into Chatsworth and Dalton. It's quite some big rollers, so just making it up over those things, crawling, that took me a while, and it was hurting by the time I got to the downhill. And the downhill is not easy when you're trying to keep your neck up and trying to hold the brakes at the same time, although it's not super steep, so that's good. I can essentially create my own sail and slow down a bit. Made it into town, went to 2 gas stations looking for some help, and nobody could get me a cab. Folks at the Ace Hardware tried. Finally I was like, well, how do I get to the emergency room? And somebody directed me, and I crawled over to here. So that's where I'm at. Fine folks at Mulberry Gap are sending a shuttle down to the hospital. Let me call them. Shuttle down to take me to the hotel in Dalton. But what a shit show. Everything that could go wrong went wrong today. I thought this was the easy day, just getting out of there. Hindsight being 20/20, I should have just called it at Mulberry and had them shuttle me to Dalton. Stupid is as stupid does. Rethinking last night, and hallucinations started creeping in. It's usually, I do adventure races, usually like the 3rd night before without any sleep, and they start to talk to me. But they hit last night. Some crazy stuff. Because I tend to see people. I don't know if that's just because I'm an extrovert or we just crave civilization or something like that, but hear people, see people. Zach Price, who is from Chattanooga, came up on me near the end of, I guess it was P2, or it was P1, and I didn't really, for a second I didn't believe it was him, or that it was anybody. Thought it was my imagination. But did see a bear. This was before I was up the last pitch up to Potato Patch. There's a downhill right before it, and I was trying to carry as much butte as I possibly could through it. And as I'm coming down to the bottom, there's a black bear, fairly small one, right in the middle of the road. It's right at kind of sunset. And of course spooked him, and he went running off into the woods. But I had to kind of go back and think, did I actually see that bear? And yes, I saw that bear. I wasn't hallucinating at that point. That came later on. Highlights of this ride. I mean, the grand depart was a little anticlimactic just because of the COVID mitigation. I mean, it is what it is. I see my wife out there, and she's still out there. She and her friends Allie and Monica are still plugging away as far as I know. I'm on my phone, so I need to get to the hotel and check, see where they're at. Had Sasquatch give me a holler on the trail. Spent most of the first day by myself, really all the first day by myself. I passed people and they'd pass back. Got to talk with a guy, Dion. He apparently lives in Chattanooga now. He's an Australian. I guess got stuck when COVID hit, and stuck in Chattanooga. But he's an interesting dude. So I talked to him on the way down to Helen. We went back and forth on Trey and then down Hickory Nut. And turns out he's an ultra marathoner who just sort of picked up biking just to do this. and he's written a book called something about the Gobi Desert. I'm sorry, my brain's not working. Still only on 2 hours of sleep in the past 3 days. But I need to check him out because he's an interesting dude. So the second day, I mean, I was totally like wanting to socialize and enjoy myself. We hung out at Cooper's Creek store. Talked to Sarah Dahlman. She's an adventure racer as well. We have mutual friends, and friend Eric, who's with her. Of course, the owners at Cooper's Creek were great, and hooked up with several people during the day, riding with them, and really enjoyed yesterday until I didn't enjoy yesterday, and just sort of hit all at once. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's a strange situation, but still worth it.